All right. Hello, grade 2. So today we read a short story in the Your Turn book, okay? And the title of our story is In a Redwood Forest. So as you guys know that this week we've been reading about different landforms found in different places in the world, okay? We've read about the state of Alaska and the landforms that it has. We found out that it has mountains, volcanoes, and glaciers. We also discussed about the temperature, the climate there, and the animals. And yesterday we read a story about the rainforest, what a rainforest is, and the two kinds of rainforest known as the tropical and the temperate, and the things that we can find in a rainforest, such as many kinds of animals, plants, trees, and of course it has plenty of rain. Today we'll be reading a short story about a forest, okay? And as you see in the title is In a Redwood Forest. We'll find out what a redwood forest is. So let's start reading. A forest is a large area of land covered by trees growing close together. There are different kinds of forests. Some have hardwoods. These forests have trees that lose their leaves each year. Some forests have evergreen trees with needles. One of the most amazing kind of forest is the redwood forest. So the story begins by explaining what a forest is. As we all know that a forest is a place or a piece of land that has plenty of trees, okay? And that grow close to each other. All right? So, and it says there are also different kinds of forest, and it gives you an example. The first example are hardwoods. What is a hardwood forest? It's a forest that have trees that lose their leaves each year. So a hardwood forest is a forest, a place that has plenty of trees, but these trees lose their leaves each year. So the leaves fall and change, and they come and grow, and new leaves grow. Okay, the second kind is called evergreen trees. Okay, so some forests have evergreen trees. What is the evergreen tree? It is a tree whose leaves are like needles. Okay, so these trees don't have normal leaves or a certain shape. No, the leaves are like needles, pointy needles. Okay, and one of the amazing kind of forest is the redwood forest. Now we're going to find out what is a redwood forest. Okay, here is a subtitle. What is a redwood tree? In a redwood forest, we will find some of the tallest trees in the world. A redwood tree can grow over 300 feet tall. That's as tall as a 35-story skyscraper, a building found in big cities. Okay, so in a redwood tree, you'll find trees that are so tall. How tall are they? They can continue to grow to be 300 feet tall. Okay? And that 300 feet tall is so tall that it can be as high as a skyscraper. Okay? A skyscraper is a very, very tall building. Okay, and if you guys don't know, they call a skyscraper because it's so high that it touches it. You feel like it's up in the sky. It can touch the clouds. Okay, and we usually find skyscrapers in big cities. All right, so the redwood forest has very tall trees. The trees are almost as tall as a skyscraper, which is around 300 feet tall. Okay, it's about 35-story. That's a very tall building. Okay, so redwoods are some of the oldest trees in the world. Okay, a redwood tree can live to be 2,000 years old. One reason is these trees can survive fire. Their thick bark keeps them from burning. Okay, it also says that the redwood forest has the oldest trees. The trees are so old. How old are they? These trees have been living for over 2,000 years. That's a very big number. Okay, And the reason that these trees can grow is that they can survive fire. Okay, that these trees don't burn easily by fire. Okay, the reason is these trees can survive fire. These trees live for a very long time because fires cannot easily burn them. Why? Because they have very thick bark. Okay, a bark is a part of a tree, and this part is very thick. It's not thin and weak. No, it's very thick and strong, which keeps the trees from burning. Okay, so these are important details so far, that redwood trees are the oldest, the tallest, and they can survive fire. They can continue, they are not easily burned by fire. Let's learn more about the redwood tree. Where are redwood trees found? Redwood trees are not found everywhere, okay? So you cannot easily find them. California is the only place where they grow in nature. Redwoods need a wet climate to grow. The coast of California is a good spot. Okay, so is it easy to find the redwood trees? No, they're not found. They are not found everywhere. Okay, they are only found in California. So it grows naturally in California. Redwood trees need a wet climate to grow. They need to grow in a place that has wet climate, that has a lot of rain. Okay, and why in California? Because the coast of California is a good spot. So California, if you guys don't know, it's a state on the west coast of the United States. So that means it's facing the Pacific Ocean. And okay, and as we mentioned before, because it's close to the ocean, you know, it's the climate there is always wet. All right. There is fog almost every day. The fog keeps the soil moist. The fog keeps the soil moist. It also helps the redwood trees get water. They soak up water from the fog right into their leaves. Okay, so there's a fog in the redwood forest almost every day. We said fog means there's a lot of clouds and you feel like the air is not clear. What does the fog do? The foggy air makes the soil moist. That means, because you know that it has water vapor. If you guys don't know what water vapor is, it's a gas that has water, right? You know, to imagine water vapor is when your mom boils water to make tea. You see some smoke coming out of the pot. Okay, this is water vapor. So the fog has water vapor, which makes the soil moist. Moist means wet. Okay, it helps the redwood trees get water. So the soil moist helps the trees get water. They soak up water from the fog right into their leaves. So they get water from the fog and it reaches all the way to the leaves. In the past, people cut down many redwood trees. These big trees would have disappeared. Now most of them are protected in parks. They cannot be destroyed anymore. People can visit the parks to see these special forests. So in the past, people used to cut trees. Remember, we still use trees to make things and build things. In the past, they used to cut many of these redwood trees. Okay, and these trees almost disappeared. Disappeared means there's no more. But now they are trying to protect, to keep these trees safe because they are very rare. Means you cannot easily find these redwood trees. Okay, so these redwood trees are no longer destroyed. They cannot be broken or cut down. And people can come and visit these natural parks to see these special forests. Okay, so that was what the story was about. So let's see what the questions. Remember, when we answer questions, we need to go back to the story and reread. Reread means to read the paragraph, certain paragraph, to find the answers. Because when you have a comprehension, the answers are found in the story. Okay, so number one, it says, how are some forests different from others? If you guys remember, it was mentioned on the first page. Let's go back and read more about the different, really quick. We don't have to read the whole thing. Here, I think it was in the first paragraph. It says here what the forest is, and it mentions 3 types of forest. It says there are different kind of forest. Hardwood, and the trees fall, the leaves change or fall in the hardwood. And then we have another forest called evergreen with trees with needles. And the third one is the redwood forest. So for number one, the answer would be, this would be the answer, because I cannot write it down. Okay, we can write that some forests are hardwood forests. The trees have the trees have leaves that lose leaves each year. And the second forest is evergreen trees, the evergreen forest that have trees with needles. And you can also add a detail about the redwood forest, okay? I'll show you the answers in a minute. Okay, question number 2. How is a redwood tree like a 35-story scraper? This was also on the first page. Let's look in the second paragraph. In a redwood forest, you will find some of the tallest trees in the world. A redwood tree can grow over 300 feet tall. That's as tall as a 35-story skyscraper. So we can say that a redwood tree can grow over 300 feet tall, which is as tall as a 35-story skyscraper. That's a very tall building, right? This is the answer for number 2. A redwood tree can grow over 300 feet tall. That's answer number 2. What's question number 3? How was the past different for redwood trees than today? Now we are going to compare to see how the redwood trees were treated in the past and what they do with the redwood trees today. This was mentioned on the second page. Let's look what did they say in the past. It says, in the past, people cut down many redwood trees, and today they are protected in parks. Okay, so in the past, the people used to cut down the trees, but today they are protected. And that's the answer for number 3. And these are the answers from the book. Okay, it doesn't have to be exactly the same, but it has to have the same idea. Okay, that's all for today.